I'm Gail C., Director of Teaching and Learning here at ASD, and this week for the podcast, we are with three of our third grade teachers, Kaylin, Sanam, and Stephanie, and we're in Kaylin's classroom, so it's nice to be in a classroom this week. We've had a consultant, Carl Anderson, here with us this week. It's the third year he's been to visit with us and work with teachers. And so I've asked our team of three to come and talk to you a little bit about what they've learned and what they've been doing and how that may have changed their practice. So, Kaylin.
Right, first of all, it's fantastic having Carl here. He's awesome. We've learned a lot from him. And I think for me, actually there were two things that were big aha moments for me this time.
Mm-hmm.
The first was the leading, because I have a tendency to lead kids and put words into their mouths. And in my personal one-on-one coaching, Carl had stopped me and said, wait, let her do it. And then when the child came back, she said, use my exact words. So it kind of hit me in the face of, he's right, I'm leading too much.
Right.
The second thing was that he said to be very explicit, to name what you're teaching, what the strategy is, so that you and the child know exactly what you're doing, that it has a name to it, and it doesn't always have to be a formal official name. Just
Right, so
naming
very
it.
clear expectations
Very
for the
clear.
child.
And I think Stephanie will explain the second half of that one.
Okay, Stephanie, let's go over to you.
Sure. I think my big takeaway was that not only naming the strategy, but unpacking it explicitly, and not just telling an 8 or 9-year-old to show, not tell, but what do writers do to show, not tell, to really stretch out that description. And so unpacking the strategy, thinking about how I would do it, and then rewording it, rephrasing it for an 8 or 9-year-old.
Okay, Sanam.
I think for me, it was a privilege to have Carl here. I think the big takeaway is just that constant refinement. How, it's like when you play tennis, you have to have like a coach watch you serve and give you critique those finer details of your how you're doing things. And so for me to have that somebody watch me do my job and give me tips along the way and just to constantly refine, I think that was kind of a big takeaway.
That's great. And Carl is known as the conferring guy. So what that means is he works with children to talk with them, to have them talk about their writing and be able to think of themselves as writers and to be able to enhance their own practice as writers. And so what we've been doing here, as you can see the model that Sanam talked about, is we're really coaching our teachers. And given that we have an ongoing relationship with Carl, that he continues to visit with us, we are getting better and better at our practice. And that's, yes, go
I
ahead.
was just going to piggyback off that. I think the difference, which is what I was trying to say, the difference is that, and sometimes when you have PD, you're sitting watching a presentation, and in this case, we were getting one-on-one, side-by-side coaching, which makes a huge difference.
Right, so in some cases you watched him work with the students, and in other cases he watched you work
Exactly.
with the students to refine your practice.
And he would coach us, not the kids.
Right.
So like the comment that I had before was when I was working with a child and trying to get her to talk about her writing, and she was stuck. So I
Yes.
started leading too much, and he actually stopped me
Yes.
in the middle of my coaching
Yes.
and said, "You're leading too much."
Right.
And then when we went back to the child, that's when I saw he was right. I was doing exactly what he said.
So a great demonstration at ASD of teachers as learners. So thank you.
Thank you.